What's up, guys? I'm Hopscotch, and I'm going to be your host to body language within a presentation or public speaking setting. In this, we'll cover three main topics, so let's dive right into Lesson 1. Lesson 1, Facial Expressions. So guys, starting off every speech, I want you to have a massive smile on your face. It's the best way to start a speech, as it creates a positive, warm environment. Another thing I want you to think about is keeping consistent facial expressions. This means when you make a mistake, people won't know you made that mistake, as you're the only one that knows the content of your speeches. And the only way you'll be able to show that mistake is by making a face that isn't normal. Alright guys, I want you now to think about matching the expression with the content. For example, if you have a happy slide, something like maybe a dog, you should have happy facial expressions, such as a big smile or a grin. But if it's sad, something maybe about homelessness or climate change, you should have more of a gloomy look on your face. And finally, let's look at eye contact. So it's okay to have notes in a visual and to look at them, but you don't want to do that too much. You want to be consistently and constantly scanning the room with eye contact, making it with everyone. This will make you seem very prepared and confident, and that makes you, all in all, more credible. A good way to think about it is that you are those red emergency lights that scan around the room. Thank you guys so much for watching Lesson 1. Lesson 2 will now focus on movement during speeches. What's up, guys? Welcome back to lesson number 2. We're going to be talking about movement. Starting off with movement, you want to do not too much movement, but just enough. So one way to think about it is using your slideshow as a template. So for example, you'll give your intro and you'll move to the next slide. And as you're transitioning to that next slide, you should move from whatever side you're on to the opposite. The reason for this is that it helps engage more of the audience. By engaging more of the audience through your movement, you're going to be seen as giving a better speech and a better public speaker. It moves me into my next point. Left, right, balance. With movement, you have to make sure you're not on one side too much. Otherwise, the people on that far side are going to feel disconnected and see it almost as like an unfair experience. So what you want to do is have the perfect movement so that you're on the left side just as much as you're on the right side. Alright guys, finally I want you to think about screen positioning with your body. You never want to take up too much of the screen, otherwise your visual will be ruined. Instead, stand off to the side like me. This will allow your audience to see the entire screen, and will also give you this ability to point to something such as like this. Now, thank you guys for listening to lesson number 2, and I'll see you in lesson number 3 where we talk about posture and hands. Alright guys, welcome back to lesson number 3 where we're going to talk about the posture you should be in and what to do with your hands. So, starting off, make sure you're standing up. Don't be like me right now and be like squatting or sitting. Make sure you're standing up nice and tall. What this is going to do is going to engage the audience. They're going to see you as professional, and it's going to help you seem like a more credible speaker. Now guys, let's think about your hands. Your hands should not awkwardly sit like your side like mine are right now, but instead, they should be used in a motion that helps emphasize what you're saying. For example, you can throw your hands around like this at the board, say pointing to what you're maybe talking about. Or you could have both hands kind of sitting up at the side, moving around, putting an emphasis on what you are saying. And finally, I want to talk about your hands with note cards. What I love to do, and have found that majority of people do when they use note cards, is keep them only in one hand rather than both. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do those hand motions that I talked about. And like I said before, never stare at your notes. Hide them away with your hands so that you're not even tempted to look at them unless you really need them. Thank you so much guys for watching these 3 lessons, and I really hope that you got a better understanding of how your body language should be when presenting.